Alright, time to start up. Here's Q&A number 16. Just a reminder, this is over on SoundCloud now, since this is basically just like an hour-long one-man podcast or audio vlog. And the video portion isn't really all that important, so if you just want to listen to it on the go or something, I don't know why the fuck you'd want to listen to this on the go. But the SoundCloud option's available because that's like the only other place I can put it like for free in an audio format. And even SoundCloud has like the premium service thing that you'd have to pay to actually upload more, but I don't do this frequently enough. This one is like 3 weeks from the last one. I had it on my schedule to do this a week ago, but I kept putting it off because this thing takes like an hour to do, and I need like an hour where I can just talk without interruptions. No, I mean, I guess I could just edit it, but I'm kind of lazy when it comes to editing this thing. I don't really edit it at all. I've gotten really good at making videos where I don't have to edit them, like whenever I do the Ask Reddit videos. I do it all in one take. That way I don't have to edit it, and I can just upload it straight from the OBS sound file thing, which is always pretty great. But it seems like I've been doing these videos like every 3 weeks now. I wanted to do it like every 2 weeks, but it seems like I've been doing them every 3 weeks for like the past couple. And it seems like every time I do one of these, I lament on the fact that I'm late on it. I don't remember the last time I actually did one exactly 2 weeks from the day I was supposed to do it. But whatever. Okay, let's see. What's happened since the last time I've done one of these? Let me take a look. I released Top 10 Zombie Dragons today. Footage Gathering Stream, Dave and Devbot number 6, Top 10 Ways to Die, various WoW-related activities stream, Top 10 Easiest Raid Bosses, Patreon behind-the-scenes video, how to use okay, these are all videos you guys can't see. Damn, I have a lot of hidden videos that only go on Patreon. Actually, now that I look at it, it's not that many. Just a lot from last week, to be more precise. Okay, so let's start from the last one ever since my last Q&A. Q&A video number 16. After that, I put out my Patreon video. Oh wow, looks like it only has 18 dislikes. It has about 2,000 views, which is... Oh, it came out on September 11th. That was pretty bad timing. I probably should have delayed it a little bit more than that. The Patreon video, I was kind of skeptical about it, because you see, a video would definitely draw more attention to the Patreon. That way I could actually get more people to sign up to it, but at the same time, it's bad press. It makes it seem like I'm a money grabber, and it seems like a lot of people already think that, because I say that I make some videos for money, which is something you probably shouldn't do, even if it's the truth. But I totally get it. You shouldn't give off the illusion that your channel is your livelihood and your business. You should let them know that it's just for entertainment. I guess sell the illusion that you do everything just for fun, when in reality, I only do half of my videos just for fun, which is still, like a lot of them. Basically anything that's not a top 10 video, even the top 10 videos, I like making some of those. I enjoy some of them. It's not like I begrudgingly do all of them. It's like, ah, shit, I hate doing this. I'm only doing this because I know it'll get a lot of views and make me lots of money. Oh, this sucks so much. Now it's like, ooh, this is kind of interesting. I would have never figured this out if it wasn't for researching this top 10 video. It goes, ooh, this story's really interesting too. Man, this was pretty great. Oh, I can probably make a video out of this little thing right here. Should I include it in this one or make another completely top 10 video on this little subject? So I get a lot of ideas while I make the things. And the top 10 Zombie Dragons one, that was pretty great. I learned a new question that I'll probably use in one of my videos thanks to that. Although I do really want to keep recording those to a minimum. I mean, reusing those to a minimum, I should say. Just because if I use the same things over and over, like I've used the fact that Death Knights are overpowered at the beginning of Wrath like 3 times already in 3 separate videos, but they're far in between. But if you're watching all my top 10 videos in a playlist, just back to back, it's noticeable. Some people do that. I do that too for other channels. Like, I love just putting all of JonTron's videos into a playlist and just watching them back to back some days, just because he's comedy gold. He's comedy first, and it just happens to use video game footage as his material. JonTron's the best. He's my favorite YouTuber, if you're wondering that. Why did I start talking about that? I don't know. Oh, the Patreon video. Yeah, it got dislikes. I didn't read the comments on it because there's no way that wouldn't bum me out considering the dislikes. So I just ignored it. Iron Man stream, level 25 to 27. Came out a day after that. Oh my god. The Iron Man. My priest died. I'm so sad about that. He died while walking. So I was like stealth to the side of the road, away from all the monsters, because I pulled a couple of them too much, and I couldn't actually kill them. So I ran away to heal up. But I stayed a little bit longer than I really should have, and then an elite mob pathed onto my stealth location, which was out of the way from all the monsters, and over a gate, and he killed me. And that was the end of it, and I was sad. And now I don't stream the Iron Man on Saturdays anymore, I just do other random crap. Alright, then after that, I did the WoW Conspiracy. Is Azeroth actually flat? That video was hard. Those ones are always hard to make. They're a lot of fun though, doing all that junk math and everything. Conspiracy videos never do very well, but I have a few select people that ask for them all the time, and I think they're funny. They always get a lot of dislikes too. People don't like them, but whatever. Let's see. After that, I start leveling my DK, and then we did that one thing where we go and join the death cult and kill ourselves at the end. That's something I've been doing in my streams for a while, but I don't really stream all that often. So if you're a veteran to watch all my streams, I think there's only like a handful of people who've come to a majority of my streams. Sometimes I go to Goldshire, and in Goldshire Goldshire on Moonguard, the famous Goldshire on Moonguard, where they like to ERP inside. I like to go around just to see if people are randomly role-playing, and every time I've gone, I've found people just randomly role-playing in the streets of Stormwind, so it's always fun. And then I just take my fans, and we go and get drunk and throw up on people, and then commit suicide, and that's the end of it. It's a fun time. Top 10 easiest raid bosses after that. That one was a Patreon suggested video. Not suggested. I put it up and it was voted for, so I made it. I was actually kind of hesitant about making the top 10 easiest raid bosses because I thought like that would just be like the first bosses of a whole bunch of them, wouldn't it? That's not a good idea for a video. I don't know why I put it up for suggestion. Oh, I probably shouldn't make it, but it got voted anyway. Oh well, might as well research it. And turned out not half bad. It's doing pretty well. 25,000 views right now. Not the best, but still pretty good. Let's see, what was my last top 10 before that one? Top 10 overpowered specs. That one currently has 130,000 views. That one's doing great. What about before that one? I don't think I really have another top 10 one before that one. Oh, top 10 coolest things about Legion. Damn, that was forever ago. 58,000 views. That's pretty good too, considering the content of that one. It was just the stuff from the convention they did. So Eve's Raid Boss is doing pretty good right now. I expect the views to go up. Let's see, then after that, it was just another stream, various WoW related activities. Basically, they just went to Goldshire and played around. Then committed suicide at the end, in the glorious name of Cthulhu. And then after that, I've got the music test for Dave and DevBot number 6, and top 10 ways to die in WoW. This one was suggested to me by Void Shrine, one of my fans over on my Reddit page a while ago, actually. I don't really look at the Reddit page very often. I originally planned to use it to like give updates about my videos and stuff, but ever since I made the Patreon page, I don't really do that anymore because I put all of my video updates of what I'm currently working on Patreon now. So I didn't really think it was necessary to cross-post it. over to Reddit. Now I just basically put my scripts for Dave and DevBot on my Reddit page. Do I not have it saved up here? Ah, here it is. Hiru, wow. Let's see, top 10 ways to die. Yeah, it was submitted by Void Shrine 2 months ago. Didn't I say Void Shrine's name for something else? Let me take a look. Oh yeah, I was talking about, he submitted the idea for that. And I used his idea for that story at the beginning. This video took me a lot longer than it really should have taken to put together, just because of a few parts in there. Like one of them, one tiny little section, is a machinima about how you got killed by an item that kills you if you're on a low level character and you use it. And it took me about, I don't know, an hour to make for like a 30-second portion of the video. And I was really dreading that, so I kept putting it off for the longest time, and then I ended up releasing it late, like on a Monday, because I procrastinated on doing that one little portion. And the rest of the video went smoothly because I already had all the footage for it. It took me a long time to get the footage too, because I wanted to get a whole bunch of different angles, and I ended up only using like half of them. But better to have more footage than no footage, so. Anyways, top 10 ways to die. It's currently at 12,000 views. Not half bad. Not great. Not half bad, though. Dave and DevBot Go to the Moon. That was the one that came out October 2nd, it looks like, which was 3 days ago. Currently sitting at about 1,500 views. This one, I commissioned an editor because I asked in my last Q&A video if anyone wanted to help me edit those videos, or basically just, you know, machinimate them for me. Machinimate. To do the machinima for me, essentially, because I had the scripts for them, but making machinimas, it takes a lot of just time. Like, it's not really that hard. It's very time consuming though, and that's time that could be used making a video that actually gets views. To put it nicely, my stream VODs that come out after I stream on Saturdays on Twitch only, those get more views than my Dave and DevBot videos. Stream VODs, I didn't really put them up for views in the first place. I only put them up because it does it automatically after the stream, and I didn't opt out not to do it because it's like, why not? It's once a week, so it's not that big a deal. I could see if I did this like every other day or every day. No, there's no way I would do it every day. The fact that it's only once a week, that's why I allow it to get uploaded, because I actually don't really like the stream VODs on my channel. Because after I stream on Saturdays, it's just an unedited mess. It's like 2 or 3 hours of me just screwing around. I don't like it. It's not interesting stuff, but people watch it. I don't really know why people watch those things. Then again, I do watch that one guy's Iron Man stream every Saturday. What's his name? Griff? Slightly Impressive? Yeah, I watch his. So I guess I do understand, but his is just like one continuous thing of Iron Man things, and I watch those every Saturday or Sunday or whatever day I actually get around to watching it. I have a lot of shows just queued up in my queue, in my watch later queue for YouTube, but I usually watch those ones separately because it's really long and it's great background footage. Yeah, I guess the VODs could be good background footage too. I don't know. People seem to be watching them. If the views were lower than that, each one gets about 2,000 views, which isn't that bad. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination. My average Yu-Gi-Oh video over on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, which releases 2 videos every day, gets about 2,000 views. So it gets about as many views as one of my Yu-Gi-Oh videos. My Yu-Gi-Oh channel does very well for itself. It's just a VOD, so I guess that's fine. It's not a lot of views. I'm not gonna go out of my way to make them. It's just there, and it's not that cumbersome since it's once a week. But I still kind of want to remove them from my channel because I don't like just having 2 hours of unedited crap on my channel. Because everything else is highly edited, and that's literally the only thing on here besides my Q&A videos that come out like once a month now that is not highly edited. It just makes, like, if new people come to my channel, they look at my previously uploaded stuff, it's like, oh, this guy just uploads a lot of crap. I don't want that in my subscription feed. But I think I'm just putting more thought into it than other people do. So, whatever. Oh, what was I talking about? Dave and DevBot. Oh yeah, Dave and Dev number 6. Where they go to the moon and kill Elune. I made Elune as a Naru, because it's kind of a joke in the lore community that Elune is a Naru, since there's no real source of light magic on Azeroth. People don't really know where it comes from. They think it comes from a way of thinking, like the validation of their existence is what brings out the light. Just as long as they strongly believe in something, they are able to use the light. That's why the Argent Crusade are able to use the light, even though most of them are just like really evil. That's because they strongly believe in their ideas of killing the undead. That's why they're able to use the light. But so is like anyone else who's a priest or a paladin who wields the light. But then we have the Draenei, who get the light from the Naru, and it's the same exact light that's being used on Azeroth. And that's why there's some people in the WoW community who think Elune is probably a Naru, since she's directly given light powers to priests of the priestess of Elune, the Night Elves. So she could be. It's not confirmed nor denied heavily. It was denied, but not really. You don't really take anything they say with a grain of salt unless it actually comes up in the game, because Blizzard has said stuff to Q&A panels that they've gone back on before. So, you don't really know if Elune is a Naru or not. It's a little piece of trivia that only people who are really into WoW lore know about. So, I thought some people would get the joke. I think only one person actually commented on the fact. I was like, you got it. Elune is not a Naru. But people who know a lot about WoW lore will be able to figure that out. Everyone else will be like, oh, so is that really what Elune looks like? Oh, they probably don't even know who Elune is. So, yeah, that's why Elune was a Naru. And then she gets killed. In the original script, I had Dave and DevBot killing her at the same time, but my editor just made DevBot doing it. It looked pretty nice. I didn't know DevBot actually looked like that when he was actually killing stuff. Oh yeah, so I got an editor. That's what I was talking about. So, yeah, he messaged me after my last Q&A video, and he said he would be willing to try out the Dave and DevBot stuff. And he's pretty new to making machinimas. It's like, that's fine. I'm willing to allow you to experiment with this, because Dave and DevBot, it doesn't get that many views anyway, and I can always just fix any of the little mistakes. So, I sent him a storyboard. My storyboard, though, when I ever make the storyboards, if I ever bother to actually make a storyboard for it, I do it like in MS Paint, and I just do it really quickly. I just kind of do like a general thing. This is where they'll be standing. This is what should happen in this scene at this part. And I do the voices first. I always do the voices first. I have that, and I can just put the machinima stuff later. So I made a storyboard, and I sent it to him. And only after he gave me back the footage did I think, oh, you know what? My storyboard is shit. It's so bad. There's like no details in it at all. I was like, oh, this is my fault. It looked fine. Like, the actual footage itself was fine. It wasn't the best quality in the world, but it was totally fine considering he was pretty new to it. So I'm not gonna fault him at all, and in fact some parts of it looked pretty great. But I just blame that on myself for making a really shitty storyboard. He made it great for the storyboard I gave him. So I was like, you know what, this is fine. I made a shitty storyboard, and you made it a lot better than what I gave you. So, we'll just go with it. I don't really want to edit the parts out that I wanted to fix. Because the only things that really bothered me were Dave, he kind of like glitched out a little bit in one scene. And they were talking to each other with the scene not changing. Because whenever I make that, if someone's talking, I'll have the camera focus on them or the whole group or whatever, and if someone else talks, the angle changes, whether it's talking to him, the camera's pointed at him, or it just changes the angle of the group. I like to have camera changing angles whenever someone talks. Or if they're having a really long sentence, then it's fine to just leave it on them for, a really long time. Except with this one, there were a couple of scenes where they'd be talking to each other, but the camera didn't change. Like, Dave and DevBot were just staring at each other, and that was like, they would put out like 4 lines each, and the camera hadn't changed, and I was like, ugh, I want to go in and add some more scenes. This is probably why it takes me so long to make these things, and it doesn't even get any views, so it's literally a waste of my time that could be spent on something that actually gets me views. But views aren't everything. That's why I still make these things anyway. And it's just like this whole loop back. It's like, ugh, I like making this series. It doesn't get me views though, but I get enough views for my top 10 videos where I can spend the time to make it anyway. But yeah, it's just a small gripe. Most people won't even care, and it's not that big a deal. Plus, he was basically following my storyboard anyway. My storyboard kind of just had them talking there for like 4 lines. I was like, oh, that's my fault. This is 100% my fault for having a shitty storyboard. This is why there's not enough camera changing angles. And let's see, besides the part where he glitched out a little bit, camera angles not changing enough. One other thing was there was a couple of zoomed in portions of Dave where he looked really pixelated. That's easily fixed by just zooming in and capturing the footage on the Windows Movie Maker. What's it called? Let me check real quick. While Model Viewer, yeah. If you gather the footage, like, just zoom in, because what he probably did was he just took normal footage where they're like at the height you'd probably raid with your character at, where you can actually see their full body. What you want to do is you want to zoom in all the way, as much as you can for the shot. Basically like half a body shot, and then just take the footage from there, and then go in and then zoom out or in, whatever you need to do. You never actually want to zoom into the material for the machinima, but it's always fine to zoom out of it. And this one was heavily zoomed in, so it looked really pixelated. But it wasn't that big of a deal, it's just a minor gripe for me. And it's made it look a little bit less quality, but that's an easy fix. I'll just tell him how to do that later on. Actually, no, I really need to make the storyboard for the next one. He's been waiting for like over a week for me to do that. I have just had a lot going on last week. I'll talk about that later. I'm talking about Dave and DevBot right now. So yeah, 3 little minor things. Everything else is pretty great, actually. I really like this sequence for the spaceship. Went from Azeroth to the moon really quickly. I actually went in and edited it to make it a little bit faster because it took a little bit too long for me. The fight with the loon was great. It was a lot better than what I would have done. Even it was really nice and quick. Dave and DevBot isn't really an action thing. It's a comedy first. Action takes place sometimes, so I like to get it over with as quickly as possible. That's why there's no long drawn-out sequences. Because I remember, whatchamacallit, I think it's one of Nixium's videos where it's like the demon hunter or something. It's like one of his earlier videos. It's like 10 minutes long, and it's the story of a demon hunter or something. And there's this one scene in there where they're fighting, and it's so bad. It's like the attack animation. They're doing it over and over, back at each other. And it's just showing different angles of them and showing their faces. But it's obviously just WoW model viewer stuff. Doing the attack animation over and over. And there's no point to it. And the scene goes on for like 30 seconds. I was like, ugh, this doesn't work. I mean, I get it. Like, if you're doing like an anime or something where they're fighting each other, you can actually like draw out their face, show them taking damage, show them moving in different angles and crap. But if it's in a machinima and you're doing attack animations like that, it just doesn't look good at all if it drags on for like any longer than a couple seconds, because it just looks like they're standing next to each other, not hitting each other because there's no collision. It just doesn't look like they're actually fighting, and it just looks weird. So, because of that video, I try to keep the action sequences in Dave and DevBot as quick as possible. My editor, because the part where I said they fight, it was basically just a white screen with text that says they fight here. So he basically just got to do whatever he wanted. And he went in and killed Elune real quick. And I was like, oh, that actually looks pretty nice. And then Dave absorbs Elune because it's going to be part of the story later on for like a really minor part. But it's going to come up again in a couple other times because Elune's dead. So there's no priest or paladins on Azeroth. Well, I mean, there aren't some. There's still the Draenei can still use it. That's going to be the story for that. It's not going to play a big role. I just want it to happen. I basically just wanted to go to the moon because they were going to make fun of Interstellar. I made the script for it a long time ago, so I'm glad I finally got to make it. I was looking forward to the script for a while. It was actually supposed to be like the 7th episode, but I kind of cut the 6th one because I don't like it. And instead just went to this one as the 6th episode. So I'll probably make the episode that's supposed to be number 6, 7, or I might just not do it because I don't really like it. It's one where they basically go back to the village and blow it up with a nuke because they were supposed to find the Dreadlord in the village and they never did. They got pushed through the portal to the Twisted Nether and then they went to the moon. And it just kind of ignores that. So they're supposed to go back and blow it up. But I don't really like the script. It's not that great. It seems kind of forced. I don't really need to continue on the storyline. It's a comedy. The story's just there to give them a reason to do funny stuff. It's not really that important if things are left untouched. So yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the fight scene with Elune, that was great. Really quick and short. Snap, 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 it was over. I was like, that's great. He got this really well. And then the talking at the end was pretty good, went back and forth. No just weird things of this where it showed no weird angles where they were talking for like a minute and it didn't change angles on them. Lots of angle changing, which was really great. And then the final part where they're talking about conspiracy theories and the lizard people come up, that wasn't in the script, that was added by him, and I found that hilarious. I was like, this is great. I didn't say anything about putting lizard people's faces on the two leaders of the Alliance and Horde. This totally adds to it, and the music. I'm glad it wasn't flagged. Like, I uploaded a demo version of it like a week or two ago, September 27th. That way I could see if the music would get flagged or not. Because I didn't send in my library of music, because I have a crap ton of royalty-free music that I know won't get flagged. Luckily, that little part with the psycho music, I think, didn't get flagged, showing the lizard people, and I thought that really added a lot to it. I was like, this is funny. So, some of it I wasn't a big fan of, but overall, I thought it was good enough. And it's really, really good for someone's, like, first try at it. So, I gotta give them some props for that. So, yeah, I'm gonna have him making some other ones from now on. Whew. And of course we're gonna pay him. You don't want to just have someone do that for nothing. Paying someone in exposure. You want to know how YouTube collabs are like nothing. They don't really do anything for you. Giving someone a shout out doesn't do anything either. It's really hard to get someone to come over to your channel from someone else's, even if you guys are doing very similar stuff. So it has to be money. So I'm losing a lot of money on the Dave and DevBot series by hiring an editor, but I like the series enough where I'm willing to do that. Plus, that's where Patreon comes in. What better way to spend the Patreon money than for more content for the channel? If anything, I'd like to hire another editor to help me do, like, other stuff. I don't know, I'd really like to have one just to do my top 10s, but if I did that, then what the hell would I do? Just write the scripts and voice it? That'd be neat. I'd really love to have someone do my top 10 videos. Kind of. I don't know. I kind of like doing those too. I can actually like do everything. I add stuff to those videos during the editing process. So if I had someone else do it, the videos probably wouldn't come out as good as I thought they would. Maybe for my lore videos. I don't really add anything into that. If I start doing lore videos again, which I do plan on doing, I want to have a video on all the old gods by the end of the month, because October is the perfect month for that. All old god lore videos. Thankfully, lore videos are really, really easy to get info for, because the information's readily available on the internet, and very easily. As anyone who helped me write scripts back in the day when I asked for some help writing scripts can attest to, if I asked them to do something about lore, they got it done like no problem. Easy peasy stuff. Because lore is really easy to research. So, not making lore videos, I don't know. Nobel does it well. I'm not going to make them long. No way in hell am I gonna make them long. If I do them, they'll be infrequent, unless I can get an editor for that. And they'll be like less than 5 to 3 minutes. Because my old god video, like I went back and watched it, like who were the old gods? And I made that video like over a year ago, and I watched it. I was like, this is a good video. I did a good job with this. I guess there's a reason this has like no dislikes on it. Actually, you know what doesn't have no dislikes on it? Oh, if I say that, someone's gonna be an asshole and go over and dislike it. I think it might. It's weird to not have a dislike on a video. That's like unheard of. No matter what, people just, even if you have no dislikes and it's just a great video, someone will dislike it just because they want to be the first person to do it. Unless you have a small channel. But the old god video has almost 30,000. Oh shit. It has 65,000 views. That's a lot. I didn't know it did so well. Yeah, the video itself is pretty good. Yeah, it has a single dislike. I was like, how does this have no dislike? It's one of my older videos. Most of my older videos suck. And I watched it and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. I drew stuff. I even made some animations. Everything was on point. I got footage for the old gods. The information was interesting. I totally forgot some of the crap I talked about. I was like, I make good videos. I can see why people subscribe to me now. So I've been planning on making a video for all those old god stuff and all the dragon aspects and Wrathion. And I don't really... Oh, okay. So I have some ideas for lore videos. Like, I'm not just going to do on, like, literally anything. Only on a select few people. And they're all going to be short. How long was my old god video? About 5 minutes. Yeah. Why does WoW have dinosaurs? It's about 5 minutes. Notice Domu, 3 minutes. Alexstrasza, 3 minutes. Mythology video, which was 3 videos in total. That was 6 minutes long. Oh, I spent so much time on that video. Korok, 4 minutes. Nazgrim, 4 minutes. Calaxes, 6.5 minutes. Gnar, 6 minutes. Medivh, 3.5. No, almost 4 minutes. Yeah, so anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes. Under 10 minutes for sure. 3 minutes seems like a nice one. They're going to be short. Really short. Shorter than my top 10s. But longer than Dave and DevBot, which those are usually like 2 to 3 minutes long. Yeah, Dave and DevBots are all pretty short, even though they take forever to make. It looks like... Wow, my Dave and DevBot. The first video in the Dave and DevBot series, a very mysterious mystery in WoW, which was made 6 months ago, has like 33,000 views for some reason. I don't get it. Maybe because it doesn't have Dave and DevBot in the title. And the second most one is Dave Gets Lost, an in-between video, where I borrow heavily from a comic strip to set up the joke, and then I go on to something else, which is only a minute long. That one has almost 6,000 views. And of the actual Dave and DevBot ones, the first one has the most amount of views. Everything else is kind of lackluster. Sadly. Hopefully it'll get some more views later on, if it gets larger or not. I'd like it to get more views, and I'm going to keep making them because I like to have some kind of diversity on the channel. I don't want it to just be top 10s. Oh, shit, I was going to talk about, like, the lore videos. I have some plans for that. Okay, so I'm going to do all the old gods this week. No, this month. Sometime this month. I should probably start working on that. And then in the future, I want to do one on all the dragon aspects, and then Wrathion, because Wrathion plays a huge part in the Dave and DevBot series, which you'll see later on. It's kind of hinted at already, if you follow it and are a big fan of it. All 10 of you people who are a big fan of my Dave and DevBot series, because the comments are always like very positive about it, so that's always nice, because I like making it, and I like the fact that some people like it, even if it's not a lot. 2,000 people is still a lot, but that's less views than a video I upload 2 times a day over on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, so it's like, you know, I could probably just release a 3rd video on my Yu-Gi-Oh channel a day. It would take me about 10% of the amount of time it would take to make a Dave and DevBot video and make more money from it, but it's not about the views. I get enough views from everything else. Oh shit, I keep getting off track. Okay, so WoW lore. I want to make All old gods, I already said that. All the dragon aspects, I already have 2 of them done, right? Nozdormu and Alexstrasza. Let's see. After those 2, I want to do Rathian because he's going to be part of my Dave and Devbot series. He's like their boss, basically. Because Rathian's up to shady shit, so that's like the perfect thing for 2 sociopaths to go out and just kill random people while doing random shit. It's the perfect setting for them to do basically whatever they want, because Rathian only cares about stopping the Burning Legion. How he goes about stopping them is not really his problem, so it's great. They can go out and kill stuff, anything, just as long as it helps him in his cause of stopping the Burning Legion invasion someday. So, Rathian. After Rathian, I want to make 2 other videos for sure. One on Sylvanas, just because she's awesome. I talk about her a lot in a couple of my videos. And Garrosh. I really want to make a Garrosh video, because I love Garrosh's character. I even talked about that at the beginning of my Gnar video. The Gnar story was pretty good. WoW has some pretty good lore characters. I kind of just want to stick to lesser known ones, but I also really want to make one on Garrosh. The Garrosh video will basically be like, was it really Garrosh's fault? It was. Spoiler alert. He's just a bastard. But it would like go more into, maybe Garrosh isn't so black and white evil. He's more of a grayish character. Yes, he's an evil guy. He's kind of an asshole, and he did some terrible shit if you've read the War Crimes book, which I'll go into detail about that in the video. But is he 100% to blame for everything that's happened? I mean, we are only products of our situations. And he was dealt a pretty bad hand, and then he'll go back and talk about his backstory and try to sympathize with one of WoW's most hated characters, and then go to the point of the duel with Garrosh, and he'll be like, oh, this is the point where Garrosh meets his end after being a huge asshole, going back in time, killing the person that saved him, rallying the Iron Horde to try to invade Azeroth again from a different dimension. And then he gets killed by Thrall. But during the fight with Thrall, he makes some good points. He's like, this was your fault. You made me into who I was. Well, he didn't really make him to who he was, but he did contribute to the fact, because he was kind of thrown into a position at a point where he wasn't really ready for it, and Thrall thought it might mature him, and instead it just kind of backfired royally. So, yeah, I really want to go into that. It's a nice story detail. Thrall is definitely responsible for his own actions, but I just want to kind of paint the picture that it's not, he's not entirely just a terrible character. There's some gray areas to him. He's not that bad. He also did some pretty nice stuff before they decided to turn him full evil. And even then, the ending cinematic before when he dies is pretty great too. It's like, well, the things he says to Thrall, while not entirely true and probably out of, said out of passion of the moment, he probably really did think that. I mean, he's a pretty young guy, and he lived his life thinking, well, yeah, anyways, I gotta do research for that. It's a video idea I want to do. One that won't get views, so it's not on priority. But it's one I want to do because I like his character. And I like it when they have great characters like that. I also really like the fact that he took an old god's power and used it without being corrupted by it. That's like, bravo, Blizzard. You were able to make an evil character without them being herp-de-derp. Old gods made me do it, or Burning Legion made me do it. It was 100% just Garrosh. He controlled the fucking old god power. I was like, good job. Good for you, Garrosh. You did it. Okay, so enough about that. Let's see. Where was I going with this? I'm pretty sure I was talking about something else. I don't know. I think I was just looking at what videos came out from then, and I was going to talk about something else, and then I forgot because I got sidetracked. Oh, Dave and Devbot number 6. I think I already went into all the details about that. Oh yeah, the thing with the loon. Because later on, they're going to summon an old god for fun, and the old god's going to try to kill them, but they don't die. And they go into a conversation. It's like, wow, are you immune to nuclear explosions or something? He goes, no, I think it's just because I'm eternal now because I killed Elune and took her power. It's basically they're going to summon an old god for fun, and they're just going to ignore it and talk to each other. And the old guy gets mad and tries to kill them. But that's not going to be for a while. I have to introduce a third character who's going to come in. Third character, I really want to get, Doron Movies to voice it. I think he would be the perfect voice for it. Because the next character I'm going to introduce is going to be a rogue who's supposed to be lazy. Not lazy, very uninterested in the plot. He's just not going to give a shit about their antics. Because he's actually a serious person in his job because he's an actual rogue. Then he has to watch them because when they blew up the village, they had to spend a lot of resources to cover that up. It's like, why did this village just disappear off the map? Oh, so I guess I am going to have to make that video. I don't want to. Whatever, who cares? I'll make it. It's not that bad. I'm not happy with it. But it's serviceable. It's better than episodes 2 and 3. 2 kind of sucks. I should have cut out number 2, to be honest. Episode 2 was definitely the weakest. So, yeah, there's going to be a new character. He's just going to be lazy, and he'll break the fourth wall a lot and talk about their shit. Because you see, the whole comedy dynamic with Dave and Dev is the fact that Dave is a crazy character. He's a black dragon. All black dragons are crazy except Rathion. And DevBot is supposed to be the straight man, except he also does weird shit too. He's not completely a moral person. They're both pretty amoral. Dave is insane, and DevBot is just amoral and doesn't care. So adding a third character to it who calls them both out on their shit, I think would be pretty funny. So he's going to be in, and he's also just going to be like a lazy genius type. So I thought Doron Movie's voice would definitely work out really well for that. If not, I'll probably just use my real voice for him. I don't know, I think it'd be better if I just do the voice myself, but because he is a reoccurring character after he gets introduced in a couple episodes, and if he's a recurring character, I don't really want to bother him that much with doing voices for him, even if they do come out infrequently. And plus, I'd be able to consistently just do it myself. I don't know. I have some other characters going to get introduced too, but I just thought Doron's voice would be really great for that. So if you're listening to this, Doron, I might ask you in the future to do a voice for me, just because your normal voice would be great for that. Because I'm pretty sure Doron listens to some of these. If I asked him, he might do it. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. So yeah, Dave and DevBot. I'm glad I can finally get those videos out faster since I've got my editor who's doing a pretty good job considering the shitty storyboard I gave him. I still kind of feel bad about that. But whatever, it turned out okay. It could have been better, but it turned out fine. Alright, and then on to, let's see, footage gathering stream. Oh yeah, I gathered footage for my zombie dragon video. While I was getting the footage, people kept asking me, what video are you going to be making for this? I was like, it's a secret. Top 10 zombie dragons. You see, for the month of October, I'm going to have a whole bunch of Halloween-related videos. So that includes, actually, you know what, let me look. I have the list on my Patreon page. Because I put up a whole bunch of video ideas, and I just had them vote, like, which ones do you guys want to see? And I'll just make the ones from that. And the ones they picked are the ones I wanted to make the most. So, my Patreon subscribers basically just know exactly what I want to do. Let me take a look at it. Let's see, we have top 10 undead lore characters, has the most votes at 2. Top 10 creepy quests, definitely going to do that one. Top 10 creepy lore characters. Yeah, I was going to do that one too. Top 10 zombie dragons, I did that one already. And top 10 vampires, that one I really wanted to do. So, of all the ones that they actually voted for, because there's like 4 other ones on this list, but I'm not going to read them off. The ones I really wanted to do were vampires, zombie dragons, and creepy quests, and those ones were all chosen. So I'm just going to choose one of the other 2. Undead lore characters and creepy lore characters. Undead lore characters, since I got 2 votes, I'll probably do that one for sure. How many more can I do? Let's see, I released one today, so I got next week, so that's, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, oh, I can only make 3 more? No, wait, I can make 4 more. If I release one at the end of this week, on like Saturday or something, I should be able to do 4 more of them, because I wanted to do 5 of them this week. I released this one a little bit later than I thought I would, but I can still do this one on this week, so that's, let's see, that's week 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, I can only make 3 more of them, because I'm also going to make an interactive one, where you're going to get lost in the crypts and you have to escape from a monster. There's going to be a lot of deaths. I thought that would be funny. Kind of like the Mage Who Let Through Time interactive video I made like over a year ago. That's still probably my most favorite video I've ever made, just because I spent so long writing the story for that just to make it good. And I kind of wish I could just like remaster it, like redo some of the parts. I mean, I could. It's an interactive story, which means everything is done through links. I could always just, make new ones and then go back and update the links. I'm not going to, though. But, I mean, I could. I want to do more interactive stories, but those take so long to make. Actually, you know what? If I got an editor to make my top 10 videos and to make my lore videos, I could spend all of my remaining time making my interactive stories, because those ones take forever to make. But then I have my other channels to work on as well. But I do all the videos for my other channels like Monday through Wednesday. I get all the videos done for the week on those days, and I upload them, and then I spend the rest of the week working on my Reddit, this channel. It's something I've been doing recently. I've just been trying it out because I was spending too much time on my other channels, and it's not really worth my time to do that. But I still want to do it because I like making videos for those channels, because I only made those videos for those channels because they're fun. So, yeah. Anyways, the zombie dragon one, I wanted to do a little bit different with this one. I basically went into like the theme of fighting zombie dragons with Sindragosa, because I thought that would be an interesting angle to take it with. And because the number 10 spot in all my top 10 videos has to be one of the most interesting ones. Because people on YouTube have short attention spans. So you wanted to grab their attention at the beginning of the video. That's why I don't have an intro. I don't think intros help your videos. I see a lot of new YouTubers have intros. I see so many newer YouTubers have intros just because they see bigger channels have them and they think that's what you're supposed to do. Or because they like them from the bigger channels. But they don't know that they're a smaller channel and their viewer base is different than the ones who are looking at the bigger channels. Bigger ones, they already know the person and they've been following them for a while. Smaller ones, they probably saw your video in like a search or something, and they're going to watch it, and if there's like a 30-second intro, they're not going to watch your video. They're just going to skip and do something else. I mean, they might, but you're going to be pushing people away from it. And why would you push them away when you can use that same amount of time to actually draw them into the video? So I always try to do like the first 30 seconds of all my videos always have the most editing, and are always the most... well, yeah, I put the most amount of time into it, and I try to make it as interesting as possible. Like, this is why you should sit down and watch the rest of this video. That's what it's doing. It's trying to sell the video to you. So I always try to make my top 10 videos the number 10 fact. It usually always has to be interesting or unique or something. That's why I did the whole Sindragosa thing, and how fighting a zombie dragon in some kind of fantasy game, this is how it should be, and this is how the fight is, and it fits the theme of fighting a zombie dragon perfectly. So I thought that would be a good way to do it, and it seemed people liked it. I liked it. I thought that was really neat. I even surprised myself with how ingenious that was. I don't know how I thought of it. Maybe I'm just some kind of amazing prodigy. Oh my god, no. No way. That's so stupid. Oh, I get lucky, and I just do random shit, and sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't, though. How can you even be a prodigy at making videos, really? It's so easy. I guess... I don't know, I'm trying to think about that. Can you be talented at video editing? Probably. I'd really like to see if someone was really talented at it, just to see how they do it. That way I could copy them. I don't know. Now that I think about it, that's a weird train of thought. Okay, so, let's see. I should probably actually answer questions. There's quite a bit of them. This might be a long video. Alright, to actually answer some of the questions from last time. Damn, I can really talk forever about nothing. DM Slayer says, wait, what? Non Biori, isn't that just a slice of life / comedy? Just watch the first episode, and I can't imagine being able to cry to that anime. Oh, I think it's because I talked about crying to Non Biori. You see, the thing is, with Non Biori, yes, it's just a slice of life, but it's the best slice of life / comedy show. Maybe Barakamon is better, but I like them both. Barakamon's a lot funnier, for sure. Non Biori is just sweet slice of life. But the episode of Non Non Biori was about little Renge learning how to ride her bike. And she really wanted to ride without a training wheel so she could ride with her friends. But her family's busy with other stuff. They said they would teach her how to ride her, like on the weekend or something. But she was like, no, I want to learn by myself right now. He's like, well, just make sure you have someone watch you then. So she goes down to the candy store where the lady who works there babysat her a few times when she was a baby and kind of developed a bonding with her. So she goes down to the candy store and just rides her bike outside while she's sitting at her candy store that never has business. And then keeps falling over. And the candy store lady really just wants to help her ride her bike. So the next day when she comes over to try riding her bike again, because trying to learn how to ride your bike by yourself is kind of a difficult thing to do, the candy store lady closes down her shop so she can help little Renge ride her bike. And then when she finally learns how to ride her bike and watches her go off into the sunset, it's such a beautiful scene. It's like, oh, that's so sweet. You'd have to like be a monster not to shed a tear of delight for that. It was like, oh, she's growing up right before her eyes. She used to be a baby and you used to babysit her, but now she's like a big girl riding her bike without training wheels for the first time after trying for 2 days straight and get a bunch of scratches and falling down. It was just too cute. So yeah, I love me some anime drama. There's no drama there. Death Narwhal says, yeah, I'm always so excited when a new one of these come out. Very well done, smiley face. Also, do you like Sword Art Online and or Attack on Titan? Okay, so Sword Art Online, I've watched it and the 2 seasons, and it's okay. It's not great or anything. It's not bad either. But in the anime community, if you like Sword Art Online, you're basically frowned upon because it's critically not very good. And there are a lot of people in the anime community who are huge hipsters and hate anything that becomes mainstream. And Sword Art Online and Attack on Titan both became very mainstream. Which means like a lot of people in the West or in English-speaking countries actually liked it and watched it, opposed to everything else that comes out. So if anything gets too popular, like Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan, One Piece, Naruto, or Bleach, people generally look down on other people who like it, except for a very few exceptions. One of them being Hunter x Hunter. Everybody loves that, but it's not really that popular. And One Piece. People are totally fine with people liking One Piece, just because One Piece is great. There is no lacking in the story for that. The only bad thing about One Piece is the anime. It's like, the story is fine, it's just the anime shit, because they stretch things out like crazy. Think of stereotypical old school Dragon Ball Z, where they stared down each other and powered up for episodes at a time. That's kind of how One Piece paces shit. Like, they have 8 minutes of actual stuff going on, but they're able to pad it out to 20 minutes long because they know One Piece is the most popular anime in Japan. It's the highest selling manga every single year. It's like printing money, just making anime shows, so they try to make as many as possible. God forbid they go on hiatus to let the manga go a little bit further than the anime so they don't have to stretch it out like crazy. No, they're going to make money no matter what. So One Piece, everybody agrees that it's great, but also a lot of people in the anime community just don't watch it because the anime sucks, but a lot of them follow the story in the manga form. Anyways, how does this relate to Sword Art Online? Well, Sword Art Online, when it aired, a lot of people liked it, but once it got popular, there's a huge circle jerk of hate on Sword Art Online. If you say that you like Sword Art Online in the anime community on one of those dedicated subreddits or like on 4chan or something, you'll get shit on, and people will not like you for your terrible taste in anime. You piece of shit. You should just die for liking Sword Art Online. A lot of YouTubers who do anime stuff also really hate Sword Art Online. I actually unsubscribed for this guy named GigiBro because he made this thing like, I hate Sword Art Online, and he wanted to try to do it in the fashion of Your Movie Sucks. What's his name? There's this guy who does like this series of Your Movie Sucks, and he goes through and points out every little thing about why it sucks. Except Your Movie Sucks Oh shit, what's his name called? Oh, he does so good. He did like one on The Walking Dead season 2. I remember I watched Walking Dead and I was like, oh, season 1's pretty good. I started watching season 2. I was like, this is kind of boring. So I stopped watching it, and then I watched the thing how he goes over and says, you know what, season 1 wasn't half bad. Now season 2 is shit. And he goes through every little thing. I was like, oh, this is great. Oh, what's his name? I want to say it for sure just because his channel is so good and he puts out so many really well edited videos. And he's funny, and he's super honest about everything, and he just really shits on videos that are bad. I mean, movies that are bad, but he also praises good ones. He's not just totally negative about everything. Oh, I can't remember his name. I think it's just Your Movie Sucks. Yeah, yourmoviesucks.org. That's literally his name. yourmoviesucks.org. That's his YouTube channel. Yeah. So anyways, there's this anime YouTuber who made a video about why Sword Art Online sucks in a yourmoviesucks.org style, and it was so bad and cringy, and I was like, oh, how the hell did I used to like this guy? This video is so bad that it completely changed my opinion on him, and I was like, you are the pettiest motherfucker I've ever seen. How can you hate this so much? It's not that bad. You are literally nitpicking the tiniest things. I mean, I get Your Movie Sucks does that too, but not to this extent. You're literally just grasping at straws. Yourmoviesucks.org actually picks out legitimate gripes with the shit, and this guy was just being really nitpicky about it, and it pissed me off. So I unsubscribed. I even made a comment about it, and he replied, and I was like, whatever, you have an irrational hatred for this, and this 40-minute long video, which I only watched 20 minutes of, because I was like, it can't be this bad throughout the whole thing, and I couldn't watch the rest of it. I was like, oh my god, you are so dumb. You are annoying. This video made me so mad, I just can't take it. I like so many of his other videos, though, but that video was so bad, it pissed me off. I'm not even a huge fan of it. I don't really care. It's like middle of the pack. I don't hate it or dislike it. But there's a huge circle jerk of hate for Sword Art Online, so yeah. Also, Attack on Titan. There's a huge circle jerk. It's not as bad as Sword Art Online. Nowhere near as bad. People will actively attack you if you say you like Sword Art Online. But Attack on Titan, it's just frowned upon to like it in the anime community. Even though, when it aired, I was on all the forums and shit when Attack on Titan aired. Everybody loved it. Everyone couldn't wait for the next one to come out. It was all over the place. Once it became popular, though, nope. Fucking hipsters. I swear the anime community is the worst. Why the hell am I part of it? I'm not that part of it. I just kind of browse it secretly because I know half of them are all fucking weirdos. The type of people that the anime community attracts are the type of people who make 40-minute long videos griping about the tiniest little shit about Sword Art Online. And people who hate Attack on Titan after everybody loved it before it got popular. Yeah, I also read the manga for Attack on Titan for a little bit afterwards. But it comes out once a month, and I just kind of stopped reading it, and I'll probably just wait for the second season to come out once I hear that's coming out. Also, they announced a movie for Sword Art Online. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I like them both, but I'm not like huge fans of either of them. There are so many other ones that are way better. But there's also just a shit ton of hate on both of those. And I just do not think it's warranted. I agree with the hate for some of the things I don't like, but those are two that are just really silly. And some of those people take themselves way too seriously. Alright, looks like we have one from Doron Movies. I can kind of agree with you on the money thing. When you do YouTube full-time, it's a big difference than just making an occasional video. So in a way, you need to treat it as a business, and you spend most of the day working on it, and if there is no money, you can't justify spending so much time on it. Oh, right on. See, this guy gets it. What I don't like, though, on YouTube are greedy people that make way more money than they put in the effort, and on top of that, ask for donations. Get a bunch of sponsors, etc. in order to maximize their profits completely, which affects the quality of the content they have to sit through in 2 minutes of ads before the video begins. Although on some channels, that can be justified if you have multiple people putting in a lot of effort. Yeah, I agree with that, because you don't make that much from YouTube. So if you have multiple people you have to pay, I can totally see all that. One person comes to mind who does everything to get as much money as they possibly can. what's his name? Boogie2988, I think. I still watch his videos. I love watching his videos. I watch every single Q&A he puts out, only because he is so, like, what's the word to describe it? I love him. He is so unaware of himself in the world. He's kind of dumb. He doesn't really... He's kind of a weirdo, too. His Francis videos, I don't like those. They're kind of stupid. I like some of them, though. I wouldn't completely put out. That's why I subscribed to him in the first place. He's pretty popular, too. People usually subscribe to him because they love his Francis videos. That's where he pretends to be a fat, angry nerd who gets mad at stuff. It's hit or miss for me. I can see why some people like it, but I don't really care. I watch it mostly for his Q&As and stuff, because he talks about his YouTube side of the stuff and all the promotions and stuff he does, and I love it because he's so misguided in his views. He doesn't really know how the world actually works, and it's just so cute. I guess that's the way to put it. I like watching this stuff because some of the stuff he says is like, oh, this guy, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he actually believes this. This is so cute. There's people like this in the world. I don't know. I love watching his stuff because he's kind of dumb and it entertains me. It's not like, haha, he's so stupid kind of way. It's more like, oh, that's so cute that he thinks this kind of way. The thing is, though, he has like over 2 million subscribers or something. He gets lots of views, and he streams. His stream, like the very first thing he's going to stream is the giant please donate button, and if you donate, he gets like a giant ass like thumbs up button. Thanks for donating in the middle of his screen. I was like, you're already like super popular. You don't really need this. Plus, on top of that, he does tons of sponsorship deals, and he does a whole bunch of really stupid unboxing videos. People like unboxing videos, though. They're really stupid, but he does a lot of them. So if I was going to think of someone off the top of my head, of someone who has tons of views and stuff, but still asks for donations, gets a bunch of sponsorships to maximize their profits, Boogie, he comes to mind for that, but I still love him anyway. It doesn't really affect me, but he's kind of, he probably sees nothing wrong with it. He's probably just doing the best he can because he's kind of dumb, but it's fine. I feel so bad for calling him kind of dumb. He's not. He is, though. But I also feel really bad about saying that because I like watching him, and I think the things he says is very cute. Oh, I feel like such an asshole for saying all this, but yeah. So yeah, anyways, enough about Boogie. He has some good videos. I think you guys would enjoy his Q&As. You should go check him out if you don't already. The dude is super popular. But yeah, and let's see, the content sit through 2 minutes. Okay, so what did I say? So yeah, some channels to go overboard with sponsorship deals and such, but I don't think it's less for them to try and make more money as long as they're not actively screwing over people to do it. It's not the worst thing ever, and you can't actually screw people over by making YouTube videos unless you're doing fake reviews or something like that. Although too many ads take away from the content and the value you're supposed to give to the viewer. I just don't respect for YouTubers that abuse their trust of the audience to make money and have no moral values. Just read a Reddit thread recently about a big few million subs YouTubers offering indie game developers positive reviews for 22k. Oh yeah, I read about that too. There are some YouTubers who won't play video games on the channel unless you pay them, and they'll pretend like they chose the video out themselves. They're like, oh, this game's so great. I found it totally by myself and I wasn't paid $5,000 by this developer to play it and tell you how great it is. That shit is like kind of illegal, and there's lots of people who do it on YouTube. So, I don't do that. I just play one game, and I like it. So I don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff. But yeah, the only thing I do is I make more top 10 videos than I would normally because I need to, like, pay bills and shit. But I also spend a lot of time on videos that I know won't do well because I want to do it. So it's not like I'm a total sellout who only does shit because I love money. I've been poor as shit my entire life. I just really like to not have to worry about paying bills. So, yeah. That's something I have had to worry about for a long time. Which is something I don't really have to worry about, like, a very, very recently. Because even I've been doing YouTube full time for like about a year now, and I have not been making a lot of money from it. I remember like last year in the summer, that was like the worst. I was like, oh, I literally cannot pay my bills. I'm so screwed. I have no money. I sold everything I could on eBay just to make some money, and then eBay took like $150 from me for advertising fees. And I was like, what the fuck? Why would they charge so much to use eBay? Fuck this shit. Oh my god. Oh, I still made more money than I had though, and I really just needed enough to pay my bills. My bills were super cheap around the time too. It's just I wasn't getting too many freelance jobs because I did freelance work on a site called Fiverr, where you can do jobs for $5, which is actually like $3.80 because they take $1 of everything you make, plus they charge you money to send it to the PayPal address. So you actually only make $3.80 from that, even though it's $5, because they take 20% of it. Because fuck them. But I was still making a lot of money from that because I was able to do a whole bunch of freelance editing jobs and some other stuff. And I was also doing some Amazon Turk stuff where you fill out a crap ton of surveys for like 10 cents each. And on top of that, I was also doing other side stuff. I was doing anything I could to make money because I had bills to pay and I didn't have enough money to pay them. And I think my food budget for a week was like $10. So I was spending about $40 a month on food. Damn, I was spending that much on food? That's crazy. I was... noodles. I don't know. What did I eat when I was super poor? Lots of tuna, I think. Tuna's really nice poor meal, too. I don't know. I was ridiculously... I had no money. Even when I was doing all that, I still did not have enough money. And then I remembered someone ordered a gig for me. Gigs are what you would call over on Fiverr when they order stuff from you. And this guy wanted me to download like 500 YouTube videos for him from a playlist. And he was willing to pay me like $150 to do it. And I was like, this is going to take me all day if I do this. But I really need this money. And that's a lot of money for this. And I can totally do it. So that really saved my ass. And then he also gave me like another $50 or something to download another couple hundred. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll do this. I really, really need this money. And then there was like this error with my... my financial aid, and they gave me like an extra couple $100 for summer classes I didn't take, and I was like, okay, I need this money for bills. So I was like, I hope they don't notice their mistake, and I was able to survive that summer without having to go get a real job thanks to that. And then at the end of the summer, my channel finally took off, and I was able to just pay my bills from my YouTube money without having to worry. I mean, I was still poor, but I was actually able to pay without having to like go crazy about it with selling all my shit on eBay. So that was great. I'm glad I don't have to worry about that anymore. And now I just save like crazy because YouTube ad revenue is really fucking stupid. And you'll sometimes make half the amount you made last month, even though your views have gone up, just because of how ad revenue works. Some months you just make more just because people are paying more for ads that month. So at the end of the month, I'm going to try to make well, actually, you don't really know when it happens. Usually around holidays and stuff, you make more, but sometimes it just doesn't make any sense, and it's just been really low all year. But I've been making enough to pay bills. So it's still better than when I was... I almost didn't have enough money. And I would have to actually go back and get a real job. But I didn't want to do that. Of course, I was doing all this work, freelance stuff, and MTurk, all while at the same time while making videos. I was like, one of these videos might actually make it. And it was my top 10 raid bosses video that got super popular. That was the video that made me go from like 5,000 subscribers to like 15,000 in a couple weeks. That was pretty great. Nowadays, I'm sitting at around 30-something thousand subscribers. 33,000, yeah. But the thing is, for only having 33,000, that's not like a lot compared to the other bigger WoW YouTubers. I get the same amount, if not more views than some of the other bigger ones who have almost 100,000 views. I have really high views compared to my subscriber count, compared to normal channels. Like I have a website that allows me to compare them. My views, because views are all that matter on YouTube. Subscribers don't. Subscribers help you get more views, but not really. I get more than half of my views from the YouTube suggestion page, where they suggest you videos like at the end of videos or on the side, because a lot of the videos I make are perfect for YouTube suggestions. It's like, hey, if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy this one as well. And a lot of the videos I make are very clickbaity titles, you know, top 10 stuff. People love list videos. That's why BuzzFeed does so well, because everything's in like a list style thing. And since YouTube loves to suggest my top 10 videos, and since top 10 videos are very clickbaity, which means if they see it, there's a high chance they'll click on it, and since I put a lot of effort into making the first 30 seconds of it to sell you on the video to continue watching, if I can get people to clickbait on the title, you know, click it, there's a good chance they'll watch it and actually enjoy the video, because I put a lot of effort into my videos. I don't like to put out shit. So that's how I get a lot of my views and subscribers. My subscriber count is pretty low, actually, considering how many views I get. It's probably because I don't do the please subscribe at the end of my video thing. Telling people to like and subscribe at the end of the videos really does help. Like, it's just a proven fact. Statistics don't lie. But I don't do it just because I don't like it. It's really dumb of me not to. Like, I'm literally just shooting myself in the foot not doing it, and I really should. But I haven't been doing it for this long, and I don't plan on starting up now, because I get enough views, and I don't really care about subscribers. But the subscribers I do have, like everyone who's watching this video is probably a subscriber. I like you guys. I like my subscribers. It's just I don't really need that many, because I get a ton of views from non-subscribers. Subscribers actually only makes up, actually I can check my analytics right now and tell you exactly how many of my views actually come from subscribers, because it keeps track of that shit. So let's take a look real quick. Let's see, let's click on my views page. Oh shit, actually, how do I look at this? Now that I think about it, I don't know. Top traffic sources. Suggested video, 42%, YouTube channels, other. Is this it? Suggested videos, playlist, direct unknown, notifications. Is it discovery, YouTube watch page, gender? Fun fact, 95% of my audience is male. Let's see, YouTube channels, video cards, annotations, YouTube search, suggested video, browse feature, traffic from home page / home screen, the subscription feed, and other browsing features. Alright, so from my subscribers, I get about 32% of my views at maximum. YouTube channels, cards, and annotations, I get about 6% of my views from annotations. So those cards I put at the end of the videos, there's a high click-through rate. Well, not high, it's only 6%, but that's still like 50,000 more views than I would have gotten. YouTube search, wow, the search is pretty low, only like 4%. Playlists and shit is really low as well. Notifications, YouTube advertising, I don't advertise. Ad playbacks that qualify as a view. Oh, I guess, yeah, they sometimes put your videos like before other people's channels as an ad. Oh yeah. Wow, that's really low. 0%. It's done it 25 times in the past, I think it's a month. Yeah, it goes back a month. So, in the past month, 32% of my views came from subscribers. 32%. That's a little bit less than half for you math geeks out there. It's actually only a third. It's really close to a third. A third is 33.33%. So since it's 32%, yeah. I get about a third of my views from subscribers. Most other people's channels aren't like that. If I take a look at my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, which is heavily influenced by subscribers, because my channel is abnormal in the fact that I get tons of views from outside of my subscribers, which means if I don't keep putting out videos that go viral in the fact that they get advertised by YouTube, and then YouTube promotes my videos heavily, which they do, then I'm kind of always in a state of I need to keep making videos, because what if YouTube stops advertising me? Then I'll be screwed. Alright, let's take a look at my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Yu-Gi-Oh channel, alongside other features, from the homepage, yeah, my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, my number one browsing source comes from subscribers. And even that's only 37%. Wow, I thought it'd be higher than that. It's only like 5% more, but it's my number one. Looks like my number two is suggested, views from suggestions alongside other videos. It looks like it's switched around YouTube channels. Damn, I get a lot of views from YouTube channels. I also get 11% views from search. My Yu-Gi-Oh videos get a lot from search. Not half bad. My Yu-Gi-Oh channel actually does very well for itself too, considering its low subscriber count. It only has, whatchamacallit, 8,000 subscribers, but the amount of views it gets every month is higher than some people I've seen who have channels with like over 50,000 subscribers. My Yu-Gi-Oh channel does very well. It was because I have both the Yu-Gi-Oh channel and my WoW channel that I was able to actually do YouTube full-time earlier than I really should have. It's because I have two channels that do well. My WoW channel does way better. Way better. But my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, it's not an insignificant portion. I'd probably say about 25% of my income comes from my Yu-Gi-Oh channel. It's pretty nice. Like, I would definitely see a decrease if I stopped making videos for that. So, it's because I have two good channels that I was able to do it full-time without having to worry about bills all that much than someone else who just has one channel with the same amount of subscribers I have. So, yeah, I was able to... lots of thanks to my Yu-Gi-Oh channel, too. I'm a pretty big over on the YouTube side of YouTube, too. Not just the WoW side. Actually, I'm not big on the WoW side. Yeah, I don't know. Some people know me. Okay, so enough about that. I think I just spent way too much time talking about that one. I spend way too much time talking about stupid shit all the time. Okay, next one. People that complain that you earn money on YouTube are just jealous. Keep up the good work. I think that might be part of it. I'm pretty sure there's more reasons than that, but then again, there's always like more sides of the argument of everything. What is the worst event that has ever happened in your life that has stuck with you all of your life if you have had such an experience? Oh wow, that's a dark question, don't you think? I'm not sure who would want to answer that. Well, I know the answer to that, Twisted Man 2000. The worst event that has ever happened in your life that has stuck with you all of your life. Okay, so that might be a throw up actually. I want to say it's the time I was attacked while I was out on a jog. That one left me with PTSD, and now I'm paranoid like shit, but I've kind of gotten used to the paranoia. So it's not that bad, I guess. And then there was the other one where, it was just like a girl problem though. Basically, when I was in middle school, I used to be shy. It wasn't something I always was. When I was in grade school, I was a very outgoing kid who made friends real easily. I was always the one on the playground who created the new game and got everyone to play it. But the thing is, living with a druggie for a mom, we moved a lot. So every year, I went to a new school until high school. And in elementary school, I got really good at making new friends. Until I was in 6th grade, I thought I was going to have a chance to go back to my 5th grade school. So I was like, I don't want to make new friends at this school if I'm just going to go back. And then like 3 months later, I asked my mom, hey, this is taking a while. When am I going to go back to my other school? And she's like, oh, you're not. And I was like, oh, fuck. Well, I just wasted 3 months of my life. So I tried to make friends after that, but I had not talked to anyone for a while, and everyone already had their cliques, because as you get on later on in school, people tend to have friends because they didn't have to move to a new school every year, so they have friends they were friends with in kindergarten. They don't really want to make new friends with the new kid, so it was kind of hard to make friends. So I just swung by myself at the swing set a lot. Swings are pretty fun. They're still kind of fun. You can just sit there and just let your imagination run wild. But I eventually tried to make friends. I made some. They were all kind of weird. I didn't really get them. We were in like in a upper class neighborhood. They all had very cushiony lives, their entire lives. I was probably the only one who... Well, I mean, I can't say that. You never know for sure. We were in an affluent part of the city, though. So Anyways, I had some acquaintances, but I didn't really have any friends, and I moved on to middle school, and I had this whole thing is like, I don't really want to try to make new friends. All the people I became kind of friendly with in elementary school, I don't have classes with any of them in junior high, and none of them are my same lunch period. And then I had this thing in my head, is like, I'm not going to associate with anyone unless they like Dragon Ball Z, because I thought that for some reason. And then I got over myself, and I made friends with these wonderful people who read the mangas that were in the library, because that library had mangas, and I had fun. And I had my own little group of nerdy friends who all liked anime and shit. It was great. And then I moved to a new middle school in 8th grade, and someone made a fart noise in class, and everyone erupted in laughter. And I was like, what the fuck? That's not funny. That's stupid. You guys are stupid. Second period, same thing happens again with a different student, with a different class full of a whole bunch of different people, and they all erupt in laughter and again. And I was like, ugh, this fucking school. Because the school I moved to was in a very poorer income neighborhood. And the quality of education was a lot easier too. Because at the school I went to in 7th grade in the higher income area, the classes were pretty hard. I put in a lot of work, and I got decent grades. I went to this new school in a lower income area. Classes were super easy, and I got A++s and everything without any effort. It was ridiculously easy. So they put me in advanced classes. In my 9th grade year, I should say. In 8th grade, I didn't. But in 8th grade, I didn't make any friends. I also didn't try to make any friends, and I was alone all throughout 8th grade. And not talking to anyone for about a year, I became shy for not talking to anyone for like a full year, which is a really long time to not talk to anyone. And then in 9th grade, I started playing football. I was the best player on the team, and then I had all these people come to me and talk to me. I spent like a whole year wishing someone would talk to me, because I actually got kind of lonely and I wanted some kind of interaction with people. But people do not go out of their ways to talk to you that late on, to talk to a new kid later on in school. But I guess it could have been worse. I guess people could have tried to bully me. Or maybe someone did. I don't know. I've always stood up for myself. Even when I was shy, I still stood up for myself. I had never got bullied. But 9th grade, I got really popular all of a sudden. I had all these people talking to me. And then this girl messages me on MySpace. This is how long ago I was in middle school. MySpace was this brand new thing everyone was on. It was the greatest thing. And there was this hot girl talking to me. After I had no one talking to me, then I had all these people talking to me, then I had all these really hot girls as friends who thought I was great, and I was like, oh, this is great. I can't believe I had no friends last year. And then this girl, I fell for her super hard. And then one day she decides to not talk to me anymore. And then she deletes me from MySpace, blocks my number, and won't answer the door when I go to her house. And I was completely crushed because of that. That has been something that stuck with me all my life, because that was like, I went from 0 to the top to completely bottom again, because that experience was just like, ugh. Because the thing is, she didn't like any of the other lady friends I had, so I stopped talking to all of them because she didn't want me to, and I was like, that's fine, because I'm a stupid 8th grader who's desperately in love with this person because she gave me attention, and I totally wanted that. And she made me feel really good about myself. Oh, I was so easily manipulated. Oh, that's middle school you for you. So yeah, I was completely crushed from that. But the thing is, she also did that to another friend of mine, and he tried to kill himself because of it. And poor guy. I don't want to say his name. I'm still friends with him on Facebook. He's doing well. Anyways, he cut the shit out of his arms. And another friend of mine, he happened to call him while he was doing it, and he sounded weird, so he sent his mom over to his house, and his mom found him, and he made a real attempt at it. Like, he was not just doing it for attention. He was trying to, bleed to death by cutting his arms open. So they took him to hospital. He survived, and he had some really gross scars on the inside of his arms all throughout high school. Oh, I felt so bad for him. He was such a funny guy, too. He was always laughing. We would always talk about Family Guy with each other, with quote stuff that Peter said. When we were in track, we ran together because they'd have us run for 15 minutes around the track. So I guess a combination of the girl cutting me out of her life completely by just ignoring me after I had fallen ridiculously for her because I was, young and stupid. And my friend, she did the same thing to him, like a week later, and he tried to kill himself, and I was like, oh, he was such a cool guy, why would you do that to him too? And I think those two things happening back to back to me, I was like, okay, so I'm not gonna do that to myself. I had no intention of doing that. I was totally like super bummed out and shocked, and it was terrible, but I didn't want that to happen to me, so I shut off my emotions because of that. A trick, if you ever want to learn how to turn off your emotions, because I did it for like a year. You know how if you say a word over and over, it eventually loses its meaning? If you do that to an emotion, like I think I've talked about this in one of my other Q&A videos before. If you just think about the emotion over and over, and you internalize it, it's like, so this is what feeling sad is. This is sadness. Where does the feel come from? It comes from my stomach. I can feel this. How does this make me feel? Do I feel colder? Do I feel harder? Does my heart rate race? This is what it feels like. So this feeling right here, this thing I'm feeling at this very moment, this is sadness. Sadness, sadness, sadness. And you just keep thinking about it, and you keep trying to analyze it from every situation using all five senses. Eventually it'll just go away because you thought about it so much. It's actually a legit psychological phenomenon called intellectualization. I read that in a psychology book later on when I was taking Psych 101 in college. I was like, wow, I figured this out when I was in middle school just by myself. I must have been some kind of genius. So yeah, I went like a year without emotions because of that. I also got my nickname Serial Killer because I kept playing football after that, and everyone would cheer after they got a tackle. Every time I got a tackle or a sack, I would just walk back to the huddle like nothing happened. So they were like, oh, he's the serial killer because he shows no emotions, yet he goes out in the field and kills people or tackles them. It was a pretty cool nickname though. I liked it. People would call me Serial. I was known as Serial around school. People I didn't know knew my nickname. They probably also thought I was going to shoot up the school or something. I wouldn't do that. The people who actually knew me, they knew I wouldn't do that. They also knew I was a very cool guy. A very chill person, I should say. I didn't take these seriously. I never hid my nerd hobbies. I eventually got my emotions back after I started working my part-time job. Back at the place I used to work. I worked there since I was 16 till I was 21 when I got fired, and that's basically what caused me to make my channel in the first place. It was my old job. But yeah, working there, we have to work with the public all the time. Not the public, people who come there. I had to interact with a ton of people all the time, giving speeches like crazy. And eventually they just came back because I let them. I was like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going to let my emotions come back. And I eventually just decided to let emotions take over. If I was feeling mad or stressed out about something, I would let it happen. I was like, okay, I'm not going to try to suppress this. I'm going to let it happen. If I do that, I'll also start feeling happy again too, because you can't just take one without the other. You have to be sad in order to be happy. So I can't just block out the negative ones. I had to feel everything if I wanted all my emotions back. So that one is probably one of the worst things that happened to me, that has stuck with me all my life because it was such a long emotional thing. But then there was also the time I got attacked like 2 years ago. That just made me really paranoid and gave me PTSD. They're both pretty bad things, but they both turned me into the person I am today. I don't fall for girls who give me attention anymore. I learned that one the hard way. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. Mai's Bandnen says, for educational purposes, of course, LMAO. I wonder what that was a reference into. Void Shrine, dude, since you're such a money-grabbing hypocrite, let's make fake giveaway. You announce a big giveaway and then make a fake account, and you always make me the winner, and I Photoshop some proof. We can get rich. Oh, you know what? I did get contacted for a giveaway recently. Let me see if I can look into my account. I forget, it was for like a new MMO that's coming out. They wanted to give me some stuff to give away, and I just ignored it. I ignore everything that I get unless it's something I'm actually interested in. I get lots of random shit, lots of partner invitations for YouTube channel partner stuff. I don't know, I'm already partnered with Curse. They're great. They're really good, actually. I looked into all the partnership things, and Curse is like one of the best. They have steep invitations to get in, though. My Pet Battle channel, If you want to know what the requirements are to get in, my pet battle channel, the one with like 600 subs or something, that is like the minimum you need in order to get in. Like, you either need a certain amount of subs and views or just a view count, and I was able to pass the view. Wait, I think it's like you need at least 1,000 subscribers and like 5,000 views for a month, or at least 10,000 views for a month. And I was able to pass I at least got 10,000 views for a month on my pet battle channel, so they let me partner with them even though I didn't have 1,000 views. I still don't have 1,000 views, but I get like 15 to 20,000 views every month, which is more than enough for their requirements. That's like the minimum you need in order to partner with them, because they're pretty great if you have multiple channels all in one place. Oh yeah, what was I looking for again? Someone sent me let's see, hello from Skyforge. Oh, if anyone is interested in Skyforge, oh, they sent me this like 13 days ago, so I'm pretty sure it's over. I had no interest in it, that's why I just ignored it. I found it better just to ignore stuff if I don't want to deal with it, because then they'll just think you didn't get it. Or you just ignored it, because I found that is great for a lot of stuff. I used to reply to angry comments on my YouTube channels all the time, and they would just argue back, and it was like beating a dead horse. So I was like, how about if I just ignore it? And that's made me a lot happier person, just ignoring negative comments. I just kind of do that for everything else now. Like, I'll just ignore it. It's not worth my time. Okay, next one. From Razzus33. Hey Hiru, I watched all of your Q&As, but I never asked a question. Well, my question is, do you plan of adding something like the Lazy Peon sound on the Lazy Peon channel in the start of your videos? Well, not the Lazy Peon one. That's a nice topic to talk about in the next video. Oh, I think I already talked about this in this video. No, because my philosophy with my videos is to make the first 30 seconds like an advertisement for the video itself. And if I put in any kind of intro, like the Lazy Peon does, I think that would kind of take away from it. Other people can do it, and it's totally fine, and it's not really that bad. But it doesn't help you. I guess it's something you can do if you want to have like a little gimmick like that, but I don't really care enough. I'm more about the meticulous, manipulation part of it, where I try to make them think, ooh, this video right here is really interesting. This first 30 seconds is totally going to make you want to watch the rest of it. I don't really have time to put in any kind of intro or little sound like that, because I'm too busy trying to grab their attention. Because people on the internet have short attention spans. And so far it's been working very well for me. I have tons of views, even though I have a tiny subscriber count. Okay, so Jotan90 says, Fire Mage Wep is Kel'Thas' one-handed sword. Frost is Alodi, the great staff of the first Guardian or something. Arcane isn't out yet, I think. Oh. Those are the artifact weapons for the mages. Okay. The fire weapon is the one Kel'Thas one-handed sword. I don't think I know any of those. Is your favorite song You're So Vain by Carl Simon? I don't think I've ever heard that song before. I am pretty vain and narcissistic. I have high self-confidence. I didn't used to, though. I basically pretended to be someone who had lots of self-confidence, and eventually that became who I was, and now I do, and it's not faked anymore. Like, I can't think badly about myself, because the last time I was going through a depression state, I tried to blame myself for it and be like, oh, I'm such an idiot. If only I wasn't so stupid and pathetic, this probably wouldn't happen. And then I immediately was like, no, I'm not dumb. I'm not pathetic. I'm actually pretty cool. This was just a shitty thing that happened to me. And that was what happened when I knew. I was like, oh, shit, I actually do have... I am probably a narcissist. I thought I was just pretending to do all this shit, but considering how upset I am right now, and how much I just am hating the situation, I totally just told myself that I'm not a piece of shit, and I corrected myself, because my self-esteem has come to the point where that's totally something I believe now. Oh, neat. So, fake it until you make it. There's also a really good TED conference. Is it called TED? I think so. TED Talks? Yeah. A TED Talk about it, where they talk about how self-confidence, it can be learned. It's just not something you have. So there's a lot of delusional people who think they're great, even though they're just really kind of stupid. So you can totally do that yourself too. I've internalized it to a point though where I am completely just in love with myself. I didn't used to be that way though. I never really had low self-esteem, but I never really had very high self-esteem. And I totally have for like the past, I don't know, it's been since I was in high school. It's been for a while, but I wasn't always like this. I used to be shy after all. Let's see. Chris Scott says, firstly, I have no problem with you having to make money, but I guess there's a difference between making money purely for the joy of it as opposed to making a video purely for the views, and the difference is self-evident. Personally, I like top 10s as well as special interest stuff, so I'm easy to please. Well, see, the thing is, I put a lot of effort into all of my videos, so if you were watching a video that I made just for views, you probably wouldn't be able to tell. Actually, you know what? I made 2 videos purely for views that I totally hated making. That was my 50 WoW facts and my 107 WoW facts. Oh, fuck those 2 videos. They both made me, they've gotten a lot of views though. But I specifically designed them to get tons of views. So if they didn't, then that would have been a wasted effort. But they did, so it was totally worth the time. But I hated making those videos. So if you, yeah, besides those 2 videos, I can't really think of other videos I didn't really like making. I was doing them pretty fun. As fun as editing can't be. Editing is a lot of work. Very time consuming. Let's see, Todd Cobb says, hey, love all your channels, and can you tell me if you'll do a Let's Play of Legion every 5 levels? Maybe. I was actually thinking about doing a leveling series before I started streaming. But I think the 2-hour stream thing I do on the weekends is like my Let's Play kind of. It's not really a Let's Play though. I do actual Let's Plays on my other channels. But I have kind of wanted to do one like that, kind of like what Krender does, where he puts out one like every week or something. I think that's a pretty good way of doing it. I think a pretty bad way of doing a Let's Play is like the way, like I really don't want to say, actually no, I just won't say it then. I like the guy. I just don't think he does Let's Plays very well. Well, I mean, I don't think the way he puts them out is very good. The content of the Let's Plays are fine. What's your thoughts on the new transmog system for Legion? What's the new transmog system? I don't know what it is. Are they doing something with the Diablo system, I think was what they said? I think I remember I'm listening to that in the Blizzard Watch podcast. If that's the case, it seems like it's neat. I like to transmog stuff. R. Tylik says, hey buddy, can I add you on B-Tag? I don't really like adding people on Battle Tag, because I basically, if I add you, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell everyone else I add. Do not ever whisper me, because there's no way to say that without sounding like an asshole. That's also a reason I don't like to add people on Battle Tag. If I add you, don't ever send me a private message, because it'll show up on my chat. And if I'm on WoW, it's because I'm probably busy, you know, getting footage for a video, or getting footage for a video, or recording a video, or raiding where I can't type because I'm a slow-ass typer and I'm probably in the middle of a boss fight and I have limited time in between pulls to do stuff. So if I'm on WoW, it's because I'm doing something. Even if I'm just doing garrison dailies and stuff, I'm only on there for that little bit of time to do that shit real quick. That way I can get off and get back to work. Just because I'm on WoW doesn't mean I actually have free time. When I play WoW, it's a little bit different than when other people play WoW. I don't go on to have, what am I do to go on to have fun? When I raid, it's for fun. But during a raid, I'm busy too and I can't talk. If I'm streaming too, don't send me messages. But there are some instances where it's fine, like if I put out a battle net, like bulletin, like, hey, anyone want to play Heroes with me because I want that sweet 50% XP bonus for playing with someone else. But I don't put those out very often, because when I play Heroes, I'm also recording for like my other channel. So don't talk to me. I don't like to hand out my battle tag because I don't want you to talk to me. And I sound like such an asshole saying that, but there's a legitimate reason for it. Because I'm doing stuff and that will ruin my footage. If I have someone sending me a random message Not all of it, not all the time, but I will ignore you because I'm busy and I only have so much hours in the day to do work. Actually, it would take a lot longer if I stopped to have a conversation. If you want to talk to me, send me a message through like Reddit, my Facebook page, on Twitter, or through Tumblr. I check all those every day, and it's one where I don't have to respond to immediately. Also, if you send me a message with an image, I won't look at it. I'll just ignore it. If you send me a message, just send me a message. I do look at like everything that gets sent to me on those other external sites. I don't look at anything from YouTube though. Sometimes I will check it out every once in a while. Someone sent me a nice fan art through YouTube, and I felt kind of bad that took me so long to actually see it because I don't check it. But yeah, if you really just want to talk to me, the best way to do it is through one of the channels where I don't have to respond to immediately. Because if you do talk to me at a place where I have to respond immediately, is probably on stream, or I will just ignore you because I'm busy and it makes me feel bad that I will just ignore you, so I don't do it. Let's see, next one. Zia Serpe says, I don't get if you thought Slightly Impressive said those things about you. I follow both your channels and I can tell you it was just your respective viewers fighting each other. Nah, Slightly Impressive was a cool guy. It was 100% something else. Oh yeah, it was like on Slightly Impressive's stream, because we were both streaming the Iron Man at the same time. Some of the viewers were arguing with each other, talking about how they didn't like me because I'm just a money grubber. And Slightly Impressive was like, well, because someone said, oh, he only makes videos for money. And he's like, well, at least he's honest about it. I was like, that's a really cool thing to say. Griff from Slightly Impressive, I love your videos. You're great. I love watching all your vlogs. And I watch all of your Iron Man streams whenever the VODs come out. Oh, and just something about his voice. He's a cool guy. I have nothing against him. He's great. I know it was just the people talking about it in chat, and not actually him. Oh my god, this is going to be my longest Q&A video yet. Why do I talk so much? Double Trouble says, if you had to move to Europe, which country would you choose to live in? Good question. I hear the girls in Sweden are pretty hot. Maybe Britain, because it's like the closest thing to the US. Germany, they're supposed to be very efficient, but then I'd have to learn German, because I don't think they speak English. Maybe they do. Oh, but you can't watch YouTube videos in Germany. France, I hear they're pretty uptight and not favorable to foreigners. And let's see, besides those countries, I don't know. Probably just Britain, Scotland maybe, since they're both like the same place. Maybe France, because they have really good food, but I don't think I have the money to pay for that kind of really good food. I don't know. One of those places I named. Christopher Obam says, first. I wonder if he really was first. Doom Dicer says, second. He might have been second. Herty Dwarf says, you are slower than a slow typer. You type like 10 words per minute. It hurts my soul seeing you type. Yeah, I am really slow. Past math? Nerd. Herty Dwarf is obviously your best friend, Kappa. Herty Dwarf is one of my moderators over on Twitch and YouTube if he ever shows up for it. I mod anyone who comes to my streams regularly. So I have like 5 or 6 modders, and Herty Dwarf's one of them. So if you're one of the mods on my stream, it's because you are one of my big fans. Don't have an addictive personality, and I don't want to tempt myself. Let the extra hot Cheetos back into your life. Hot Cheetos. I only buy 1 bag at a time, because if I buy more than that, I'll eat them all. People use love religiously. It waters down the word. I use hate religiously. Yeah. They do. People use lots of words in English, and it kind of waters down the word, but they still mean like both things. The English words change over time depending on how they're used and how frequently. Words aren't really like mathematical formulas. They don't always have the same exact thing. They do change over time. Let's see. Yeah, you talk about your defensive line position a lot. What muscles do you think were the most useful in that position? I don't know. I was really lazy in the workroom, but I still got really strong. Let's see. I benched 300. I squatted 450. So both those things, I guess. Did you just pronounce Thailand as Thailand? Is that not how you pronounce Thailand? Is it Thailand or Thailand? I don't know. It is pronounced Thailand. Oh, okay. I don't find your voice monotone at all. He says it in the most monotone voice ever. My voice is pretty monotone. Hey Hiru, you spelled started wrong in your first video, Kappa. Psh, using the colonel example I gave. Colonel is stupid. It's spelled colonel. What's the next top 10? Probably either top 10 zombies, top 10 creepy questions, top 10 creepy lore characters, or top 10 undead lore characters. One of those. Nerd Nerver says, sadly, Germans can't watch the stream on YouTube. Frowny side face. That sucks. Poor Germany. Let's see. I think I remember reading something about this, why Germany can't do that. It's because Germany doesn't agree with YouTube's shitty copyright laws and how the way YouTube does it. So there's like a still ongoing thing with that. So I think that's why Germany can't watch it, because YouTube and Germany don't get along. Because Germany has a gripe, and it's pretty legitimate because YouTube's copyright system sucks. Kakarake says, dat an add-on? Looks cool. Mind telling me the name? Pretty cool for requesting. It's called Storyline. Someone else was able to, kind enough to put that up for me. I get asked that all the time whenever I have a video that has that quest, that add-on in it, where it makes the quest look like, I don't know, a different game. Where you have the 3D models inside the quests, and it puts it out like you're actually reading it, instead of just skipping the quest text. It's a pretty cool add-on. It's called Storyline. Alright, that's it. This video is very long. It's my longest one yet. I have no intention of ever making a Q&A this long ever again. This is like an hour and 45 minutes, almost 2 hours long. This is legit the length of a podcast now.